out here.
Hey guys, we're back.
In the building, back with the new heat out here.
Yes, thanks so much for listening and tuning in.
Your office authority, this is Tone, and
Trina.
This is Trina out here. Yeah, so, how was your week?
It was good. You know, I actually went to a festival Saturday, and it was called Bayou Boogaloo Festival. It's a New Orleans themed festival.
Was those bees out there? Were those bees right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
These kind of bees were there. This is actually a sacred gemstone called Lapis Lazuli.
Oh.
Lakia, I know you know what I'm talking about out there. Boo. But they did have bees. There were no lifting of the shirt for those bees.
Oh, come on, man.
Babies was around. Many babies was around.
Come
It's
on,
a family
man.
affair.
Yeah, that's not fun at all. We trying to entertain people, like
I know. They had entertainment. They had the people with the umbrella dancing, and I had a piano bar on the boat. It was nice.
There should be more shirts.
Food was trash though. I don't like New Orleans food.
Man, come
food
on.
was trash.
Was it like legit New Orleans food?
Yeah, I had alligator bites with remoulade sauce. That's like super Louisiana. I keep want to call it Louisiana. That's super New Orleans. And they had crab etouffee. And the two ladies that I were with got crab etouffee, and I tried that as well, and I didn't like either of the dishes.
Wow.
I don't think I'm not a gumbo person and crawfish. That's one cuisine. I'm a foodie person, and I'm gonna try it out. But I've noticed that I don't like their theme. I don't like their food type selections, like the thing that they're most popular or famous for. But how was your week?
I had a good productive week.
Good.
Overall, and got a lot of things done. The weight's coming down. I've been working on my weight loss.
Nice. I know that he's helping with that.
To be fight ready. It's 125 degrees every day now. You know, especially after it rains, then the temperature goes up. You feel me? So.
And it rained bad.
And we getting like the hurricane, like the tropical storm season started early already. Yes. So all that.
But this week we're going to bring to you our review and thoughts on the album Dominance by Canibus.
By Canibus, Full Spectrum Dominance.
Full Spectrum. I just call
with
it Dominance.
His extreme ass titles and cover art.
Yes.
With like the Earth being like the post-apocalyptic like visuals that he's providing.
Let me tell you about the cover art. I couldn't find any information on it, and when I looked at the cover art, to me it just reminded me of all the rest of his cover art from every album I've ever seen him produce. That same sea with just like a different background. But this is an artist whose government name is Jermaine Williams. He's born in Jamaica. He attended DeKalb College, which is in Atlanta. He actually enlisted, fun fact, I didn't know about this, into the military in 2002. And when he did this, when he was interviewed, he said that he wanted to get away from the music. That's why he did it. He wanted to get away from the music. So I thought it was very ironic that in 2004... he got de-enlisted. Do you know why?
Why?
Because he got caught smoking.
Oh, damn.
Do you know what he got caught smoking?
Cannabis.
Okay. Was this a marketing ploy? We'll never know. Because that's a short time. 2 years? Like, that's like...
He didn't do no time in the
military.
military.
No time in the military. He just was there, went through training, and came home. Like... Stop it. But debut album, 1998, Canibus, very clever. He's also an artist that has been ranked number 3 in the world for rap artists with the largest vocabulary. So that's another fun fact. I know many people probably didn't know about him. I'm going to wind it up real simple to the point. I'm going to give this album a whole 4. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought everything about it was just blah. To me, he hasn't evolved that much as an artist. He still sounds the same. He's, when I phonically when I listen to him, he sounds like the exact same. Like everything sounds the same to me. The beats weren't great. Thanos Beats, I think, is the beat production guy. I mean, they weren't terrible, but they weren't great. It was difficult to search details about the album because of the name of it. You combine the word cannabis and dominance, Google's going to bring back a lot of stuff about cannabis stores that are dominating. You know what I mean? So
the dominating with the full spectrum.
Right, with the full spectrum. So, he could have used some help marketing. My favorite song, I'm gonna just say, my favorite song was the Black Lithium song, not the title track, the opening track number 1. I thought that was nice. They had a little rock and roll, Black Lithium. I like that. I like the little rock and rolly sound when they merged the two, because I like rock and roll too. The best beat to me was Ghetto People song. Mm-hmm. My least favorite track was Even the Odds. I felt like he was all over the place in that song. Like, what are you focusing on? It was a lot of things. Like, I feel like, okay, it's one way to be woke, but I feel like he jumps around a lot, you know, and it's like give some order, some structure a little. It wasn't structured well to me. And then his voice always is raspy, like he's just consistently angry. Like, that's annoying to me. I gave it a 4. And it's just very, I think he's smart, and I don't think everything about the album was bad. I do think that he's very skillful in his delivery, but because of all the other things that I mentioned, I feel like I didn't receive it the way that I probably could have. But so that's how I feel about the album.
Good look. I appreciate the perspective, and that's why we're here. Make sure you comment and
how do you feel?
I suspect that most of the people who are not already our loyal followers that find this video are already Canibus fans, and like actively looking for Canibus on YouTube or something. So Canibus is he came from the monster era of hip hop. The rappers I call the gods of all time. Not the greatest of all time, but the gods of all time. Canibus is one of those rappers. And the late 90s to like early 2000s produced a lot of monster god rappers.
It did. That's a good point.
And so Canibus is along those lines of like Tech Nine, Eminem, Black Thought. Like he's as far as who we reviewed this year or maybe discussed or talked about, he's in that category.
He's up there with them, yeah.
With like that the elite level. And that being said, I'm surprised that you didn't like the production though. Like the production to me was a highlight. That was because that was one of his main downfalls as far as because he's an underground artist,
right,
or someone that hasn't taken it or made it big in mainstream or radio rotation like some of the artists I just mentioned, or most of the artists I just mentioned, other than Eminem. Of course, he's mainstream, but I mean, a lot of your gods, don't really make it to like regular radio rotation. So one of his downfalls, that being said, has been production in the past. In the past, that has been one of his downfalls. On this album, I didn't see that. I was shocked at if anything.
So this is one of his better produced albums.
Yes, it was. It was. And especially for, like I said, people who are not already loyally, if that's a word, following us on YouTube.
You better be loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. Y'all better be loyal.
You're not. But if you're just like a random Canibus fan, and you haven't heard this album already, you're gonna agree it's a great album, like production wise. Definitely, excellent production, because he's switching between his futuristic beats, because he's taking a year to like $39.99. So we're in the place of year 4000 on the album, and he's mixing futuristic beats with he has some old school hip hop beats too though, and I can't describe it, but I was really shocked at the production. I gave it a 10. But
you gave it a 10?
I gave it a 10, but let me get into a little bit more why. Because he's also very broad in concept. So he's going from conspiracy to what I call the basic Illuminati of hip hop, which I can talk a little bit more about, and of course just basic woke concepts as far as how we're treated as African Americans in America.
Or concepts?
What?
Nothing.
What?
Concepts?
I didn't put an M in that, did I?
You did.
Concepts. Yeah. Did my lips come together?
It said concepts. Comcast
cable out this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Concepts. No, it's very concept dense. I can't get that in, can I?
You got it.
So
I believe you.
It's very dense in concept. And
that's interesting.
But it's like he introduced the album in the year $39.99, and he's also he's mixing that with lyrical flexing, as many of your lyrical higher artists do, as far as like they just kind of flex and just kind of go on about it for a while, kind of like battle rapping, just showing you how nice they are, not necessarily like going at anyone, but it's like I got it like
putting
this,
the flow out there,
or the execution mainly. So he's putting that out there and blending it with the futuristic concept and the woke concepts. So it's all kind of blended together, and I caught it as that. And I mean, when there's concept and execution and great production, then you can't go wrong. But I mean, every Canibus fan is going to be happy with this album, and I think anyone, like I said, that's already not following us is probably a Canibus fan watching this video, and you'll be very pleased with the album. It's an excellent album, and so you know,
it's basic.
Do you have to? I didn't follow your ending.
You were after me. You did. You just followed it.
Yeah, but it's not basic at all. It's an excellent album.
I'm just reiterating that I disagree. That's all.
Okay.
I think the contrast is healthy for the show.
It wasn't worth reiterating.
Oh, are you mad?
It wasn't worth reiterating. You already said your piece.
But are you mad though?
I let you finish.
But we're done. Do you have anything else to say?
I'm done. So next up, what we got next up?
Passion points. We got the passion points.
Remember the fast fits we're doing? Like,
I'm gonna still do a slow motion.
Nope, that's all I'm doing. That's all you get now. See how many fits I got done before with your one you just got done?
And you know what else Canibus did? Because I'm petty. On the intro, he was like, the intro called This Is Not a Dream. But when you listen to the intro, the guy's like, this is not a dream. Bop, bop, bop. But this is a dream. And I'm like, if I'm under the headphones and in the bubble, I'm be like, is it a dream or not, sir?
Like he was just saying, like your brain will receive it or accept it as a dream.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's the first time we were that.
Ooh.
And that before disparity. Yeah.
Passion. These points you can't pass them. Absolutely alpha. Better catch up to passion. These points you can't pass them. When you listen, bet you be reminiscent. Ooh, the alphas always got some brand new. Ooh, babe, they keep you all in tune. Oh, and ooh, this intro gotta bring that passion through, babe. Enjoy these passion points.
Enjoy.
Listen to your heart say passion points. Patty that passion points. Passion points. Patty that it just won't stop. Yeah. Passion points. Absolutely alphas with Tone and Trina.
I got the idea sparked from listening to this album, actually.
Okay.
And it's about conspiracy theories.
Okay.
And it's about the people who are obsessed with them. And my theology that supports why you should not be obsessed with conspiracies. That's what my passion is.
I'm trying to hold it in, yo.
I feel like
oh man,
there's a separation between the people that have an awareness of these theories and the people that are consumed by them. You know, because once you become consumed by them, then you're looking at life differently, and you're viewing people differently, and you're viewing your surroundings in a way that is a lot more negative. You know, you're creating your own sad reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you manifest it through consistently watching videos and spreading the word, you know. So I think it's good because I have an awareness. Like there's things that I cannot refute. You know what I'm saying? But I still need to live my life in a way that's positive, where I don't want to live like you know, where I'm constantly paranoid and, you know, I won't, and, you know, go out and enjoy myself and record and like do things like this. Because man's, you know, watching me, you know what I mean? So I do think my word of advice to people who are out there and maybe into it a little bit too much is getting to find some other interests. Maybe find some other interests, some other hobbies, and make, you know, you can do that. I'm not saying don't be aware, because I do my reading and I do my research, so I am very aware. But you know, you gotta have that balance. Is what I'm saying.
Now, I'm glad you provided a solution.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. Now,
thank you.
For persons who are really, I guess, treaded or like just kind of locked into their way of thinking,
right?
Like, would you have any? Would that be any different from like your typical way of changing the way you think? Maybe meditation or something like. I mean, what suggestions would you give to someone to basically change to like to rewire the way they think?
Just to find out more about themselves. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Be with yourself a little more. What are your interests that are outside of that? You know, because I had to do that when I first moved here. I was like, you know, what do I like? You know, I found I liked doing the art.
Okay.
I found that I like, you know, I got way more into writing. You know, writing was always in the back, but I put that in the forefront. I'm a writer now, you know. So I found out some other crafts that I could utilize and put my energy into that was more fulfilling to me, you know. That would be my advice. Absolutely, in order for you to get to that point and see that, meditation is definitely encouraged. I definitely recommend meditation, yoga, which is to me right on par with meditation. They're hand in hand. Like they're one and the same. You get the same results from either. So I would recommend those two things.
Sweet, yeah, the same mental benefits. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's got some powerful jewels in there.
You like that? You like that,
Some powerful gems.
I like when brothers say that.
That were presented to the
you.
masses just then. So, you know, y'all need to share that just for that alone. You feel me? For nothing else, just share those gems. Just share this video.
Yes.
On your Facebook, Instagram. Just share the link everywhere. So, I have a passion point that spins off our album as well that we just reviewed, because we're speaking about basically artists that like the what I call the basic Illuminati concept, and the extreme Illuminati concept on the other spectrum or other side would be like, you know, sacrifices and
the extreme, right?
Yeah, like, you know, all the you know, you got like little houses set up in different neighborhoods that are
bunkers and
like
you're making weapons
and bodies are disappearing, like
stockpiling.
I mean, we do got unexplained like DC women, right?
Yeah,
that happened, but I mean,
a lot of unexplained stuff out there.
A lot of unexplained stuff. I mean, like I said, some stuff is irrefutable,
right?
But
exactly.
it's on the forefront. You're like, okay, women.
It's relevant.
Yeah, like
it's very relevant.
We saw it, like women are missing, like we saw the shit.
Right.
You feel
right.
me?
Exactly.
But I don't know if they saw that spit or not. But anyway, so basically, the basic Illuminati concept, you know, as far as like the basic side of the spectrum is, some artists are going to, they're just going to make it and some aren't, and the Illuminati of the music industry deems that.
Right.
So
they decide that.
They decide that.
They're
like,
the deciders
they decide like who's going to make it and who's not.
Right. I agree. I think so.
So that's going on, and I think it's very important to reiterate that the size of someone's success with numbers or views or listens or album sales is there's no positive correlation between that and their actual talent execution level at all. So we're not allowed to say that someone is talented just because they have numbers. Like it's easy to say, sure, like, you know, 15, 20, 30 million people can't lie. It's easy to say that.
You can get numbers with money too. Like your money can dictate your
numbers.
And
And there are other outside factors that influence
a lot
numbers.
Of factors, right.
But at the same time, just the sheer popularity factor is not positively correlated with talent. And I think it's very important to reiterate that right now, because as it turns out, we're trying to stay on the cusp of the newest albums that have been releasing this year.
Right. And
we have reviewed a few artists that are not as popular, that don't show on the radio hardly at all, if at all. And I mean, I would say almost half, if not half of our artists we reviewed so far have fit into that category where they're not as popular. But we're still, you know, and that's the point of the show.
And they don't have the money to do the marketing and all that.
And this is, well, yeah, because they're not the Illuminati. The Illuminati.
It's like, look, you only got this allowance. This is your allowance.
The Illuminati gives allowances for marketing. So okay,
yes.
that's kind of one of the points. But really, my main point of the passion is our point of the show is not just to bring to you new artists, or not necessarily new artists, but artists that you may not be familiar with. But it's also to bring to you or present to you different perspectives, like you know, basically different aspects of music to appreciate.
And pay attention to.
Not just the artists themselves, but like just different components and individual things to appreciate in the music. You know, just bits and pieces. I try to break it down as much as I can.
Yeah.
As far as instrumentals and like flow switch up, beat switch ups, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like I try to really break it down, but just to like really appreciate and break down, really what we think a real hip hop head would appreciate when they listen to this music.
Or what makes up a complete track.
Yeah.
Because I know when I listen to music,
real shit,
and I go through a track, I
like that simplified version.
When I go through things, I'm looking at the melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the beat.
Right.
I'm looking at the lyrics. I'm looking at, you know, the intro, the extra, the background vocals. You know, all those things I'm listening, because I can like a song for any one of those reasons. I can like a song just for the melody. The lyrics might be trash. I'm like, why you like that song? I'm like, the melody's dope though.
Right.
You know, so that's a great point.
And the beats on Canibus's Full Spectrum Dominance were probably like an acquired taste. So I also took that my rating of 10 into consideration of, again, most new people viewing this video, people new to our channel on this video right now are probably Canibus fans. You know, and you're searching for them. So that was factored in there as well. But for congruency with all the ratings I provided so far this year, it was just an excellent album. Like I just couldn't see giving it, like, you know, if I said 9.5, it would be like, okay, but maybe some people won't get his vernacular, his vocabulary. Maybe his vocabulary is too deep for some people and they won't get it. If I wanted to knock something off, but I mean, just in this concept, versatility.
This part of your passion point?
Yeah, I mean, this all, yeah. Well, it's all part of the passion point, because it's like my passion point was, or my point was, appreciating the different aspects
of music. I got
of
you.
Music.
Okay.
So and now I'm sidetracked, but it's cool. But but basically, yeah. So like, I mean, yeah, it's just with all that was involved with the album, you know, this concept, execution. And surprisingly, the beats to me,
production.
That was I just, that's how I saw it. I had to call it like I see it, and it had to be consistent with how I've been rating the album so far this year. That's all I have.
That's the end of our passion points. Do you have anything else to add?
To the passion, no, nothing else. I'm good.
Well, that's it. We'll be right back with our honorable mentions and our local. Thank you. Bye.
Beats by Crow.
Oh, you don't know. Chase some paper. You don't know. Yeah, they hate you. You don't know. She wanna break. You don't know. I'm the greatest. Oh, you don't know. About to blow. You don't know. About my dough. You don't know. She at the dough. You don't know. What we doing, nigga? Make a lot of moves. Count a lot of paper. All I wanna do is count a lot of paper. Make a lot of moves. Count a lot of paper. All I wanna do is count a lot of paper. Stack my paper. Never been a sucker, nigga. I can't hate ya. Rather scream, fuck a nigga. If it ain't about the green, what we about to do then? I'm headed to the club. Bunch of 30s in my crew then. Tryna get my shine on. Make her spill a wine on. She dancing cause my line's on. Pull up, let her grind on. These ball mains and diamonds. She whispered that I'm fine on. Can I?
Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the final part of our podcast today, and we're going to bring you honorable mentions 3. I know sometimes it's usually between 3 and 5. We're going to give you 3. If we haven't already mentioned, please like, subscribe, follow YouTube, SoundCloud, any podcast platforms. We're definitely on Facebook. We have 2 pages on Facebook. One is Alphas Explain, and one is Absolutely Alphas. Instagram, Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat. It's Sunshade Renegade, and he is Ty Tony, Thai Tony. So follow us there. We're on Twitter now. We just got a Twitter page. Well, we've had one. We just updated it, upgraded it. So follow us on Twitter. It's Absolute Alphas. So there's no Y on the end. Couldn't fit all the characters. It's like 14 characters for the name.
It's a limit on Twitter.
It's a limit, yeah.
Twitter is funny, yeah.
So it's Absolute Alphas. Follow us there as well. But thank you for tuning in again, and we definitely appreciate your support. So honorable mentions. You want to start with that?
Sure. So, as many of you already know, if you follow the show, you probably know that Luke Cage Season 2 just came out. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the soundtrack came out. And I've always been, the soundtrack has always been excellent on that show. Rakim's on the new one. So, I mean...
The soundtrack's going to be lit.
It's excellent. So, that's going on. I want to give a shout out to something I've been bumping for a while on my phone, DJ Forgotten. I haven't been able to find DJ Forgotten on Spotify, but if you just YouTube DJ Forgotten, it's just like some instrumentals mostly, and then like sometimes he'll put actual verses from already famous artists like on his beats.
Oh, nice.
Which is dope.
That sounds really cool.
It's excellent. I mean, it's most of the beats are like fire though.
Like a cover band, like a cover hip hop.
It's and the artwork is dope too. Like for his like the artwork always like matched the title, and it's like you can really feel it in the artwork too. Which
nice. That's
like,
good to know.
Yeah, like which is funny
because
I know sometimes you like rate albums based on their artwork, and I sometimes like didn't even appreciate.
I will take a point off.
Right for artwork.
I will.
You know what I mean? They you know. So like on a real album, I don't think that's relevant, but you know, but
like all the things are included in your song.
But with Forgotten, that I think that's a plus though. It's a plus to the fact that Forgotten's already dope.
It can be a plus, but it can't be a minus.
No, it's not a minus.
Okay,
it's not a minus though. So those are my 2 shout outs. And what do you have, sis?
So my shout out is going to be Tiana Taylor. I know we mentioned her. We didn't do a whole show on her, didn't wait for her album, but it's KTSC, it's an acronym. $10 to whoever can tell me what it means, didn't look it up. We got gift cards to blow. So $10 for anyone, the first person who comments what that acronym stands for.
Oh, shoot.
Didn't care that much. But I listened to the album. They had an album release party, I guess, on the 22nd. And it was super, super lit, it seemed like, from what I saw. But I listened to it. I gave it a run through. The one track that stood out to me that I'll mention because sex sells out here is Three-Way. It's called Three-Way.
Okay.
And she's vividly describing the threesome that she plans to have with her husband, the basketball player Sherman. Sherman.
Wow.
Sherman.
And she give tips on how to
set
it up?
Yeah, like, I'm going to do this, and you're going to do this. And he's like, then I'm going to come and do this, and then you won't do this. And she's like, and then I'm going to do this. I know you like this. I'm like, yeah,
that's an important song like for relationships out there.
You a whole freak out here though. We already knew she was a little freaky, but this is explicit.
I think the world needs more of that. That's what's up.
Yeah. So shout out to Tiana Taylor, Three-Way, KTSC. Let us know what that means. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
And the local.
And our local.
So the local is artist King Flames. Let me get the name of the track that's going to be immediately following this.
Right.
The name of I think it's called All Hail Flames. Yes. So you can search that on SoundCloud. I believe it's on YouTube as well. I think there's a video if I'm not mistaken. But it's King Flames
It's a fire,
with
and
a
it's
Z.
ironic, like pun intended, or no pun intended, like a fire track. Like
The track is fire.
It's hot.
Oh, you're gonna
It's a
hear
hot
it.
track.
You're about to hear it.
Yeah, you'll
So
like it.
you'll like it. So
Make sure you like and share us everywhere
you.
on all of your social media.
Yes.
Share this link right now, right there from that share button at the bottom of the
click
screen.
it immediately.
Stop
click it.
fucking playing.
Stop fucking playing.
And we love you and
We love
appreciate
y'all.
you.
Hope you guys have a great week. Let us know how you feel. Peace.
See ya.
All hail King Flames. Hey. Yeah.
Yo, A2, you crazy for this one.
King Flames, nigga. Whoa. Let's get it. Y'all niggas ain't listening to me, man. Let's go. I say I'm hot. Watch me go in flames. I'm by the dollar. I be ballin' like LeBron James. I got that power and respect. Niggas know my name. I never change. I maintain. Always been the same. You niggas stupid if you think you walking in my lane. I wish y'all best. I'm taking off. This is not a game. All hail King Flames. Bring you niggas pain. All hail King Flames. Yeah, I will remain. Man, these niggas cannot stop me. Why you think I'm cocky? Your girl appreciate the king. Give me sloppy toppy. My son's acting up already. Man, y'all need to stop it. You pay me for a feature, nigga. That's a good profit. I'm about my business. Niggas never listen. They disobey my good knees. Trigger finger itching. I'm like a chopper in the war where a nigga spitting. A machine. I was made a body competition. These niggas rap. These niggas saying I got that raw talent. I do magic in the booth. Nigga, I'm a lad. Pit bull off the chain. I be really snapping. That's how one better dick you flames. Nigga, why you capping? Watch you flame these niggas up. They turn to Holy Ghost. You in my lane. You a stain. Murder all she wrote. I really do this music shit. This is not a joke. I'm young, crazy with the rocket. Nigga, I'ma go. I say I'm hot. Watch me go in flames. I'm by the dollar. I be ballin' like LeBron James. I got that power and respect. Niggas know my name. I never change. I maintain. Always been the same. You niggas stupid if you think you walking in my lane. I wish y'all best. I'm taking off. This is not a game. All hail King Flames. Bring you niggas pain. All hail King Flames. Yeah, I will remain. So you took me off a song that supposed to make me mad. I'm about my guala stacking up. That's what make me glad. That shit don't faze me. Keep it moving. Always in my bag. Be disrespectful. Promise Nina gonna make you dance. These niggas sick and they hate me cause I'm too legit. I burn a nigga like some acid when a nigga spit. I'm trying to get it flooded, rolling right up on my wrist. I'm by myself, me and money, yo ho swallow kids. I'm King Flames, little boy, I am not a gang. 2K18 taking off, watch me do my thing. Every time I'm on the stage, I let my chain swing. All you rappers catch your L's, cause you niggas lame. Let's get it. I'm hot. Watch me go in flames. I'm by the dollar, I be ballin' like LeBron James. I got that power and respect. Niggas know my name. I never change, I maintain. Always been the same. You niggas stupid if you think you walking in my lane. I wish I